What's going on? So, who's the greatest San Francisco 49ers tight end? I was asked out of Vernon Davis and George Kittle. Well, for me, it's George Kittle. And George Kittle, to me, is just a victim of the 49ers not sealing the deal. Had they won those two Super Bowls, if they win one of those two Super Bowls, he's considered probably top six tight end ever, five or six. He wins both of them, he's right there with Gronk, and he'd be ahead of Kelsey. It's simple as that. Because stat wise and playing wise, you know, when we talk about the 49ers, Brett Jones was a bad tight end. He was there for a lot of success. He was there when the 49ers dominated. Obviously, Dwight Clark has got them catch. Everyone knows the tight end. But Russ Francis was there, and he did most of his damage with New England. But when we talk Brett Clark, then we get up to Vernon Davis, but then we get to George Kittle, and we almost forget anybody else played tight end for the 49ers. And no due respect to Brett Clark and Vernon Davis, because Kittle got handles. He a bad dude. He's the dude that, like, when I be talking about, you get into the Tony Gonzalez, the Kellen Winslow seniors, the Shannon Sharps, then you get into Gronk, and then you get into Kelsey. And Kittle is the dude that should be in that running, but because of the fact that the 49ers choked two Super Bowls away, because this guy, I'm telling you, with one ring, he would automatically be top six. With two, he's top three. That's that good. Every bit right there with Kelsey, and right up under Grunk, and right there with Sharp and with Winslow Senior. Just saying, because I mean, I watched him for years. He's put on a show for Frisco. It's just that those two choke jobs in the Super Bowl. Because when people sit there, and I did it last year about LeBron James was talking about rain culture. Well, that's what it comes down to. The tight end position is the money spot. Tony Gonzalez and Kellen Winslow Sr. were bad. Okay. But then when you got to Shannon Sharp, who became a difference maker and he won rings to go along with his dominance, then you get to Travis Kelsey. It changes the dynamic. The conversation automatically changes because then it's like, okay, well then what was the attributes and what was the spinoff? Because now Grunk too. So when you say Grunk, Sharp, Kelsey, what they all got in common? They're multiple champions who were great tight ends who got multiple rings. They all uh three rings at least. That's and that's unfortunate. But because when you hear people don't give Ozzie Newsome his due or some others, but that's ring culture on top of dominated and tight ends became the money position. So the question was who was better out of George Kittle and Vernon Davis, and it's George Kittle. Kittle is the better tight end. And if he had a ring, we wouldn't even be having a discussion because then the gap between one and two would be astronomical. Vernon Davis did lead to help 49ers get to a Super Bowl, and they lost. And that was a blown Super Bowl near the end. But the Kittle situation is even worse because they had Kansas City on the ropes two times by 10 points fourth quarter, blew one in regular season, blew one in overtime. And if you and and that's the only reason why Kittle ain't discussed probably top two or three. Because Kelsey's got three rings with five Super Bowl appearances. Gronk's got his Super Bowls appearances, etc. And you're the guy that and Sharp was 3 for 3 with winning with Denver and with the Ravens. That's the only thing that's hurting, missing you from your resume. So do some people penalize him? But he is the best 49ers tight end ever. But if he had that ring or two, we'd be having a whole different discussion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. The baddest San Francisco 49 tight end, George Kittle or Vernon Davis? Greatest San Francisco 49 tight end. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.